Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Bitcoin getting heavily volatile. 119.4. Look like we're going to break out. Then they dumped us all the way down. What the heck are they doing? Bitcoin. Man, let's go. Thank you. My team's like, you're muted. I muted in the wrong end. Let's do this all over again. Hi, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for jumping on in. My name's Sam Price. Thank you for being here. Let's break it down and jump on in to BTC with the rookie move. Hey, after 1,703 shows, about 4 or 5 of them, you might mute yourself or do something silly. That's what happens. 6 or 7 shows, I've done something, maybe even 20 of them. All right, it's going to happen. I'd say we're spot on 99.9% of the time, even with that, so I'll take it. I'll take it. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Bang. Bang, bang, bang. Let's see what's happening now in BTC, bouncing off 117,750. I'm going to look at the charts and start fresh on the day. Sweet. I see a move to 930. You heard it here first. Cup and handle did break out as suggested. See that? Now we get the consolidation above the 200 on the daily with the 21. Understand? Just like the last time. We boomed above. We crushed. We consolidated. On the daily, above the 21, above the 200, on the 21. Boom. You get that measured move. You consolidate again. Boom. You blow off top. You get the bearish div. It's time to bounce. The 21's away from the 200. You're out. It's time to get in. The 200 and the 21 are close. And if you dump, you dump. So you get kicked out. But these are the greatest chances for the biggest pumps. If you go after 10 of these and you hit 3 of them, you're in the win. See, that's what people don't understand. Don't have to be a genius. You don't have to hit every trade. You just have to be consistent and keep hitting. That's what I did. Eventually, I hit so many big ones, it just didn't matter if I lost 70. Yeah, I could have lost 70 times as long as I won 30. You get what I'm saying? I could have lost 7,000 times as long as I won 3,000. You see what I'm saying? I've taken 7,000 losses, maybe. I don't know how many, but I've taken a lot of losses in my life. I don't think people realize the winners have taken more losses than the losers. That's what people don't understand. It's mind-boggling. We've just done it more. Michael Jordan didn't hit every single shot. He lost a lot of the shots towards the very, you know what I'm saying? He missed shots at the end of the game. You remember him hitting because, he did it so many times. He even admits to that. He'll tell you that. I'm not saying, he's still the greatest. No one else had the guts to take the shot that many times. You see what I'm saying? That's what really people honor, is the ability to step in play. We all know we're not 100%. We're humans. Nobody's going to hit it 100% of the time. You're not going to win every trade. So with that, let's start this beautiful day being grateful, staying hydrated, working out, doing something with our bodies. If we have kids, let's be with our kids when we can. Let's do great at our jobs if we have a job. If you're a painter out there, doing floors out there, if you're fishing out there, heck, if you're taking the day off, put 100% into taking the day off. Enjoy it every moment. Don't sit there and reminisce about what you should have, shouldn't have done. Breathe it out. Tell yourself today you need to be right here in the moment. Some of you are on a hike today. Some of you are outside today. I don't know what you're doing. I was fishing in the trading group this morning in Norway. It was beautiful. Mountains in the background, crystal clear water. Fascinating time, seriously. Everybody, we love you. Thank you so much for being here and being awesome. I appreciate it. So Bitcoin, let's break it down, bring that music just a tad. Shout out to Jamie for saving the show. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Bitcoin looked like it was going to make our day. It actually was the highest the candle ever was in the history on that the weekly there too. Things were looking amazing. Let's break down the weekly. We're going to come back to the daily. This is all going to make sense to you in a second. If you're looking at this, you're like, don't worry. We're going to swish and make it all make sense. Stay with the lifer. Each and every day, it's all going to come together, and over time, you're going to see the sauce, all right? You can see the sauce right now. Daily usually dumps when the moving averages are very far apart. Very far apart. We're kind of right here. Moving averages are far apart, but not that far apart. There's usually room for movement right here. Same thing right here. And we're in that up and down, up and down, up and down, up, right? So not looking bad. Let's take a look at that 2-week chart. Very interesting. And halfway through the month, let's take a look at the monthly. Well, 3 quarters. Monthly's going to close absolutely gorgeous. If it sits anywhere in this area, anything like this, I'll take it. That's a beautiful monthly candle. Nothing wrong with that. And it looks like it could continue to the upside. Everything kind of starting to see, you know. I'll say it is a little bit of bearish div because even when you're flat and you go up, that's some bearish div. And I mean, if we get a blow off top, everyone thinks we're going to go higher. $174,000, something like that. And there's going to have to be a correction there. I just never seen an asset. Maybe it plows to 220 on some just bogus, you know, I don't know. But it's very rare. You get the blow off top here. We didn't even get it, but here you get the blow off top, and that's just about it. Anyway, I'm still on the fence that anything could be possible. We could have topped already. You know, people. I'm open-minded. That's all. I hope, you know, it wouldn't be what I was looking for by any means, but anything is possible, right? We got to open our minds. I know I just blew your mind right now because you're like, dude, I'm tuning out of this channel, man. He just said that the market's a what? No. It's, you know, there's probabilities either way. I'm not saying it's possible, but my mind has to say, you know what? See, the old me said there's no way. No, it's a bull market only. And I got caught off guard when it wasn't. So now I realize that anything is possible and I got to handle it no matter what. I never thought my parents were going to die the way they did. I know I go back to it a lot, but bang, you know, I'm not going to get deep today. I can handle it. But the thing is this, you know, some days it gets you, some days it doesn't. I can't understand it. Some days I can look it right in the face and walk through it like it's butter. Other days I can barely talk. I don't understand how that happens, but it is what it is. So Bitcoin on the monthly looks strong. Let's take a look at our 2-week chart. 2-week chart looks good too. And we're starting another weekly 2-week candle. All right. And we have 12 days, and that just opened green, and so far so good. So the 2-week chart looks interesting to me. No issues there. I like what I'm seeing here on the 2-week. So 2-week looks good. Let's move on to the weekly chart. The weekly, you know, battled a red candle, but has somewhat of a green coming. Isn't too bad. We now have some support here at 117,000, so that's going to be your mark. If you go below 117K, you got to start thinking you're coming back down to 109. Because that's the next support on the weekly. I'm just being open-minded, you know. Maybe we stop in the middle, and then if you want to get some more information, you draw Fibonacci, and you can see there's a $113,000 level. So you got to start thinking boom. And if you come here, you got to start thinking, would it be the bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame? You know, you'll get an uptrend on the RSI, a downtrend here, and that will be somewhere here between the 786, and usually we'll get a reversal in that area. You see, and it could definitely do something like that. That's a possibility here. So you have to be open-minded for 113K. You have to be open-minded that we will pull back. And it just has to be something that you take as possible. Okay? I'm not saying it is, but I'm open to all the realms of possibilities. The 21's a little lingering. You know, the weekly's a little high. So, you know, yes, anything is possible there. I go to the 5-day chart. I like this bounce here. That is strong to me. And again, what's our bullish case? So I just show you our bearish scenario. Okay, we go to 113K and some pullback to the fib. Our bullish scenario, we trend upwards in a flag here. We end up closing this week strong, big pumps. We're somewhere in 120K. We come back down to retest 185 and that 118.5, and this is kind of how we move. So here's our bullish scenario. 21 keeps kind of coming up here on the 3-day. All love, and then boom. When it's somewhat close or touching or just, you know, in the vicinity, 3-day doesn't have to touch. It just has to be near it, see? The bigger of the time frame I've learned, the more of a buffer you can get from the 21. That 1 hour you got to touch, that 15. Every once in a while you can get away with like the 1 hour not touching. It'll get like kind of close, but it's rare. It's like, I'd say 3% of the time or something like that. So Bitcoin, 147,000 would be to move out the upward flag here to the upside, kind of continuing the trajectory. Right, that we're looking at. And that's just the 5-day chart. I'm just showing you this is the most bullish scenario here for Bitcoin. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I don't claim to know. I've never sat here and said, hey, this is what's going to happen. I just trade what I see. You see what I'm saying? And if I see something hot, I trade it. And there it is. So Bitcoin, just kind of sitting pretty. Here's an idea here for BTC. The 5-day chart could have an upward trending flag. I like what it's doing. Getting this green movement here. Same with the 3-day chart. We're looking for some type of flag, some type of consolidation. That's bullish. And this may take time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Just like we talked. Remember when I drew this here and I said the same thing. I said, look at the 3-day. It's away from the 21. I said, this could take 30 days. And then when we even got here, I said, this could take 12 or 15 days. I said, right here, look, we could consolidate into the channel. I gave you the 3-day chart. Remember this? I'm going to bring it up because I said I'm going to bring it up every day to remind you of the trade I gave you and how simple it could be. I do this with mass amounts of money on spot. I don't really go hard leverage, but I buy in with all my money at these places. I basically make these trades just the same way. And I also do lev on them. I'm just more of an intraday, intra-weekly lev trader. But if we go to my trading group, right? The groupie group. We take a look at all my updates, and we just take a look at BTC USD 3-day, right? Or BTC, you know, my space bar on one side. And here it is right here, you know, and I said I'm going to remind you on 6/24, right? Here was this chart on the 3-day chart, and that never got stopped out at 102 and plowed all the way. And basically, it's still possibly getting to 126 before it comes back down. And that can be brought to break even, taking profits on, whatever you want. But that was a monster trade. And yes, it took forever. It took a while. I'm not saying it didn't. But the entry was right here, where this candle kind of started to begin. It was basically had no drawdown. And it's been an up-only trade. This was a little shaky moment. But since then, it's been an up-only trade. You know, came back to break even right there after have been in it for 6 days. So, you know, you can see how it can be vexing. That's why it's very hard for, like, I'll take my profit, then I'll see it do this, then it'll come back, and then I'll get back in here and trade the next, you know, I'll just trade this in sections, which is fine for me, right? So 3-day chart. So just wanted to point that out. Had you been in the trading group, there's a beautiful 3-day trade, and that's why I like this the 3-day. You know, if this 3-day candle closes green, that's tweezer bottoms. Every time I've seen a tweezer bottom, it's been a stone cold win here. Say you long this tweezer bottom right there. Nice chunk of change. Say you long this one, but you longed it halfway in the middle. Like if you long it now, it's very ballsy to long it now because you haven't got the close yet. But it's also more risk to reward. You get more reward because you can get all that, right? But if you did this, you longed it here with a stop down here, that would have been in the money huge. You know, here's again, and I'm just showing this is how, so I can candle trade, which means I can take trades based on how the candles look and nothing else. I need nothing else. I can just look at candles and say, yeah, I'll take that trade. I can stochastics RSI trade. I can trade on fibs. You know, I can trade on patterns alone. You know, a lot of times when you see me trading these, I traded patterns. Like that was a pattern. I just made a pattern and it hit. Like you don't need, that's an ascending triangle. Like I didn't need stochastic RSI. I didn't need moving averages. I know where the moving averages are. I know the 21 was like this and then they were all tight. If you want me to put them on and then you'll see that they're exactly where they should be, will that be fun for you? I don't know. It might be. Just like, so you can go to indicators. What if they have 5 MA? No, I'll have to put like 5 moving averages, you know? See. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just, you know, we'll just do it for fun. Just for fun, right? White. And this is how we do it, so you also learn. White is 21. Okay? 50 is red. I'm colorblind, you know, red and green, but if it's orange, I think I'm red. Right? There's your two, let's see here. Then we got the inputs here. Then we got the 21 to 50, the 80, which we call like a purple color, I guess. Bang. And then the old 100 that I like to put in as blue. And this just keeps me based. I've been doing it for, you know, for years now. So it is what it is. I do like to usually make them a little thicker, but I'm just moving here. And then the 200, which we call yellow. Yellow. I like the yellow over it. So, oh, and then they, yeah, so it didn't, so here they are. So look. So there's the moving averages. Look, and they're super tight. Like even right there, look, they're all together. I tell you to trade when the moving averages are tight. You know, when they get far apart, it's time to get out of the trade. Like here, they get really far apart. The 21 and the 200 get extremely far apart. Like it's usually when there's some good profit taking. So if you just follow the rules of the, and again, and so I'm just teaching you how once you get fluid, you're going to be able to do it all. I don't even need these, you know what I mean? Nice to have them, but not even need. Eventually, your mind will see everything that you used to see. It is there or it's not. Like, either you have it, like, either it's together the way you want it or it's not. I like this bounce for Bitcoin off the 21 here on the 1 hour time frame. And let's get back into BTC where we're at. So the 3-day chart looking really nice. If we can close green today and get the bounce and start to consolidate, and that could take a nice 15 days of sideways price action. You know what that would do for the altcoins? Bitcoin would kind of hold above a key level, which is 117, right? It would consolidate above 117,000. The altcoins would go insane. So this little dip was kind of nice, actually, if you think about it, because if it didn't, it was up only. And we needed some type of consolidation. So if we didn't get downward price, we couldn't get, the formation. Look, you can't make these beautiful channels without downward price action. So God bless the sell-off. God bless the stop hosses. God bless the people that get stop hunted and all that. Even if it's me sometimes. God bless it all, because we're all part of the process of making these beautiful, epic patterns. Now, is this going to happen for a fact? No, we don't know. We could dump and go lower down inside a deeper channel, back to that 3-day 21. So I don't know what's going to happen for sure. I would like to see this 3-day candle close. That's in 1 day and 10 hours, nice and green. So we'll, and today is what, Tuesday? So that's Thursday night. Oh, no, that's tomorrow night. Sorry. Tomorrow night. Yeah, because 10 hours would be tonight. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. This candle closes on the 3-day chart. Let's take a look at the daily. The daily showing strength, coming back at 118.5 after such a crazy move. It was 116.258.2 on the same day here throughout the night and all the way back up and down. This thing has been a volatile day. Bitcoin up and down and all around. Pass it around. Bitcoin just doing damage now, coming back to the upside. I like to see it. So the daily candle, indecision doji, good for me if at least it could just, do something fun here. I see it as it was in this beautiful flag that broke out, and we've been looking at this flag on the daily for Bitcoin, right? And this has been my little that I've been watching. When that breakout happened, it looked like we were just going to plow all the way through the all-time high and just continue to wreck shop. They had me. I mean, I was already in. I didn't chase a green candle, but they had me. I was like, all right, let's go. I was up huge in the alts, and, we'll see now what's up with the altcoins. When XRP consolidates again, I'm going to get back in. That's my plan. I'll show you exactly what my plan is for XRP. So stay tuned for my XRP plan. I'm going to show you exactly how I plan on tackling XRP, what my idea is, what my goal is, what exchange I'm going to use, all that. So stay tuned for more. And I was making those awesome trades on weeks. I was up huge this morning, $3,000 between 3 altcoins. Ended up taking like $600, but stayed, was still up 1,600. And because Solana is just beast mode. So Bitcoin, all the way up to here, 133,824. Looking pretty interesting. BTC, heavy resistance at 120K now. Like that, you just clear as day to me, right? So $120,000 resistance, which makes sense. Like people just keep profit taking because they're not sure. There's going to be that limit there. It's like 119.9 even. It's like a little underneath, see? It's where these two candles meet. 119.8, yeah, the 800s. It always is the 800s every single time. So Bitcoin breaks out, does some, up and down dance here. I wouldn't be surprised if it just continues to move through this candle, though. 118.5 seems strong to me. We're going to zoom in and watch, and I would like to see this kind of make some type of flag like so. We don't know how it's going to do it exactly. But something like this, they have a cool little thing. Look, I'll show you this. I've done it only a couple times on the channel. But they got the ghost feed, right? And the ghost feed basically shows you can like kind of toy with price action here. Oh, I got in between two things. Anyway, so you can play with the idea, and it's not that intricate, but there you go. You can open them up and you could just play around. Anyway, idea that Bitcoin could consolidate nicely and break out of here could take some time. You know, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it's a lot shorter. It's more like this, right? It just takes like 10 days. But what if it took 20? We break out somewhere August 15th or 16th, right? Nice consolidation. Huge pump. So usually we get a consolidation after any type of massive green candle movement there. So be patient. You know, and this would be really, really great for the altcoins and the entire market because it would give us strength for Bitcoin. Everyone would know we're ready to go for our next leg up because it would be printing consolidation, which would put a lot of confidence to getting into altcoins, and people would start trading them, which would pump them. And Bitcoin dominance too. So we're going to take a look at all the big picture stuff today, but I like 118.5 right now holding. Let's take a look at the 8-hour time frame as well. So the 8-hour. One thing I see in the back of my head though is could that be an Adam and Eve double top? And it very well may. So sorry to bust everybody's bubble, including mine. But we have been consolidating. It was already defied a descending triangle. I feel like it could have done that already there. But hey, it's still there in the back of my mind. I can't not see it, even though as a trader, I can't not see that. So I wish I could, but I cannot. The 22 and the 12 look like they're going to pump so hard in our face. And we've got hidden bullish divergence, swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. It's kind of like just, and you're very oversold in the stochastics RSI. Strong hidden bullish divergence on the 22-hour time frame. What is hidden bullish divergence? Hidden bullish is when you have a low, you pump, make some type of hill or high, you come down, you pump again off that level, giving you your low, especially if this candle closes on the 22 today too, like this, in 7 hours, and and the daily basically almost same candle, but so that's your lower high, your higher low, right? So you have a low, you have a higher low in price action, and this is any asset, it doesn't matter, right? You have the low, the higher low, and then you want to juxtapose those exact low, the exact mark points on the RSI, and you can see, yeah, it might have an uptrend, but it's very slight compared to the uptrend that you have here. It's just like very radical. And so that's like a class B hidden bullish divergence. Usually you want to see this go down strong, but when times of very bullishness, you can't even get that. But what you can get is a very differentiated angle. The point of divergence is that the angle of that line will divide the angle of the other line. If you combine this line and just kept drawing it straight, right, and you draw this line, you can see they will clearly try to keep it perfect, but they will intersect somewhere in this area. And that's what divergence is. It's the fact that those two lines' angles will divide each other, diverge. Right? They're not going to merge. They're going to diverge when you merge. So Bitcoin, I like this move here. 118,592. Might be a scalpelino here on BitTX. So I'm going to be looking for that too as well. Shout out to all my BitTX scalpers of the small time frame. Banging on them to the upside. I appreciate you. Love y'all. Let's take a look here at what's happening. We've been Rock City there. Bit to NEXO. All right, it's bouncing off the 15-minute 200 moving average. So we're going to zoom in on here too. 8-hour time frame. Consolidating and wants to pump as far as I'm concerned. There it had confirmed hidden bullish too as well. It said you're going to break this high before you break this low. And, I like it just, so we'll tightness in paradise here for Bitcoin. And honestly, this was like, it's kind of that makes it such a strange pattern here. At the end of the day, that's a symmetrical triangle that breaks up or down 68% of the time, or 50% of the time. But I say 90% of the time, I've seen them dump. Like the last 500 of these, like 408 of them dump to the downside. Like only 20, like a very small amount of them actually pump. So if I got to put it in something on the 8-hour, you have to say this is a symmetrical triangle, almost leaning a little more down again. I like it as it's a breakout here, right? It's a beautiful breakout on the daily, and as long as it stays above this trend line, I'm good to go. So, that's my kind of thesis here. And I know that's difficult for beginners because you're like, look, Sam, you're drawing 100 patterns. There's lines everywhere. You look like a mad scientist with like, you know, I'm out, you know, it's insanity. And I'd say 100%. But this is chess. We're playing chess against a crazy chess player. The market maker, the volume, whatever you want to say it is. It's not a machine, and everyone thinks it's someone coming for them every time. But it's more of like a process of events that occur because they do. And you're just part of it. Whether it is whoever it is, because that changes hands, exchanges move, people go, people come. Like, at the end of the day, the market still performs similarly over time. So look, big gap here back to the high volume node. Could we still see 111,000? We could. Everyone who thinks it's up only basically hasn't traded long enough. I have no idea what's going to happen because I've traded so much and I've seen so many things. And I mean, that's a bit of a double top there too as well on the 4-hour time frame. So I'd like us to not do that. I'd like us to close a candle, you know, preferably above 119.4 on the 4-hour time frame sooner than later. Because right now that's a bit of a double top. And I'd have to play it like an M. And M's are M's. And that would take us somewhere here. 114K. And we still have all that liquidity down here. So, you know, this morning I wake up, my update looked pretty bullish. I liked what I was seeing. Bitcoin looked good. Things were in their place, you know. And then they just did like, it was just a liquidation. It was a Monday. It was a false move Monday event on a Tuesday morning, which caught me way off guard. Not what I'm used to seeing on Tuesday. But hey, again, like I say, you never know what's going to happen in Bitcoin land. We have some cool news to share with you too soon. When we hit the 11 o'clock mark, we're going to drop that awesome, some on-chain data, some things going on, money flowing where and when, and just who's buying what. What's going on with Bitcoin? You know, who's buying more Bitcoin and why? I just love those stories and more at 11. Shout out to all my beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. The NASDAQ. Is there a little something or another? I'm going to leave it alone for today. There's so much altcoin action. I'm going to wait for it to consolidate a little better. I sold my trade. We're up 4260 on the portfolio. And we don't want to give it back. We want to make sure we're making those gains. Yeah, there could be a little bounce on the 200 moving average. Might just be, you know. If someone said you need one indicator for life, what would it be? I would say it would be the 200 and 200. You could just wreck shop across the globe. Crazy, right? What you could do with it is insane. I've never thought possible, but it's amazing. It's so fascinating. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'd wait for that to cross on the one before I touched it. Interesting times, though. So Bitcoin. I'd like to see that 4-hour game itself back above 119.4. I'd like to see the 1 hour, which just bounced off like the 21. 21 getting close to the 2. That's a good, to the 200. That's always a great sign. Basically a preemptive golden cross, you know. So let's see. We may just consolidate here and be on our merry way back to where I believe we were going. Because the daily looks great. We just got to figure it out on these small time frames. As far as I'm concerned, the daily looks good. Yeah, so look, they just wrecked shop real quick, and now we're just eating it up, right back up. I wouldn't be surprised if even this went straight up. One thing I would watch out for, though, shoulder, head. This could make some type of right shoulder, and then we're kind of back in the clink there. So you got to break out above 119.420 to get the bounce. Seems like a key area. 119.420 to get the bounce. 423, I believe it is, to be exact. But, you know, close enough for me. I'm not going to waste time. So Bitcoin getting a nice pump to the upside, too. Let's take a look at the smaller time frames. Did the 1 minute resurface the 200 moving average? It's getting closer. And you can see it's basically world liquidity when this and the NASDAQ look identical. Look, like they're the same exact pattern. It's pretty annoying sometimes, right? It's like well, what's going on then? Like, what happened? You know, what was it? Was there data in today? You know, Forex fat, like what was going on? I don't remember we went over this. I didn't think anything was coming in on Tuesday. Okay, so Fred Cheryl spoke at 8:30. Maybe that caused some volatility. I mean, apparently it did, right? So I wonder what he said or who he spoke to. I should know, but like I'm so sick of listening to that dude. So like my prediction is he'll be gone sooner than later. I'm just pretty good at this stuff. My instincts tell me what's going to happen, and it usually does. So I don't know. I'm sorry to be rude. It doesn't mean I'm always right. I'm not, you know, that sounded pretty pompous, but hey, I was right on the things that mattered, right? And I'm still learning. I'm open-minded, but I'm making a bold prediction here that he will get canned or leave, or something will happen where he will move on from what he's doing, and it just kind of, it will be what it is. So I definitely see that as a big possibility, and I give it like a 97% chance, but you never know. You know, I'm not saying I know. So Bitcoin, nice little flag here back to the upside, a little bit of a reversal. We need to get back above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. This is live time action here for Bitcoin. We get above that, we'll make another flag here somewhere. 21 will creep back up. Boom. You got yourself your next, we can already see the next trade if it could be there. I could build the whole thing for you already. Exactly how it's supposed to look, right? It would be something like this, right? We'll pump. Go up and down. And then hopefully you get that, And basically, we would break out. The 21 would come to meet price. See what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess I don't know how to do this right because I'm don't really know how to fill the bag there. But something like that, right? Horrible. But, and then 21 would come and touch price action. And then you could trade this measured move back to 120,000. So this is the key to grace right here, but we got to get above the 200. If you get rejected by this, keep it dumping, then this is a bear flag. That's got more downside. You see what I'm saying? You'd be you got to be able to see it both ways all the time, but know when to switch it the right way. See, that's the key to trading. I don't think people will understand. It's not about knowing where it's going. It's about knowing where it can go, being ready for anything, and then just taking it one step at a time. Trading what you know, trading what you see. And if you don't see something that makes you comfortable, that doesn't fit your trading style, you don't just go trade on emotions. And it's got to make sense. Do your analysis, have it suit you, and say, this is the best place I would like to get into based on my years of doing, based on what I know. And, don't listen to YouTubers, don't listen to me, don't listen, get the education, get the knowledge. From someone like me. Learn the 200 moving average from me, right? Learn your Fibonacci from me. Learn why you want how to do your measured moves from this wick to that wick over and over again, and just how it is. Understand that I place it right there in crypto. Everyone else is doing this weird. I don't know, And we do it a little differently than the rest of the world here on this channel, and you'll see why. Previous resistance right here becomes your support. Understand support and resistance. Know that if you lose this, you're likely dropping right to 118.2. If you lose 118.2, you're going to 117.690. Don't be surprised when this dumps to 117.690 and be like, oh my God, I had no idea that this could have been a bear flag. I was thinking we were on our way to the upside because it looked so good. But who knows what's going to happen? So right now we're caught in a crossfire, and it looks like there may be some more dumpage here for Bitcoin. I'd like to see it hold a 1 hour candle above its 200 moving average on the 1 hour. All right. And this is messy. Let's clean it up. So BTC, to save the day, we need this to flag out and break out back above the 200 moving average. When that happens, I will look for a long on BitNEX for a scalp. I know exactly how I'm going to do it, when I'm going to do it, if I see what I'm going to see, and I know exactly what I'm going to risk when I do it. I know how to set up the trade, when to set up the trade, how to set up the trade. I'm going to use BitNEX to do it for a scalpelino. So it is what it is, right? So that kind of takes care of that. So now I already know what I'm doing. Now, if an hour later this just keeps dumping, I'm going to be like, dang. And my plan is not to short, though. See, when the market's in chop, I kind of go either way. I'll be like, because I'm not sure what Bitcoin's going to do. But there's a massive uptrend right now. And so I'm going to continue to trade that trend. Understand? So right now, I don't really open short. I'm very, very hesitant to open up a short. All my formation, all my desire is for longs to hit. In and out, hit along, hit along. So that's just what I'm looking for longs to hit. So it makes sense. Yeah, shout out to the gains on Doge and XRP. If you jumped on in with me, made some gains last night there. And yeah, let's take a look at the total market cap for Bitcoin. That 1 hour, I want to see it stay above the 200 moving average. Very, very important. And this, look, now I see a shoulder ahead and a bit of a right shoulder forming. Like, I don't want to scrutinize too much on the 1 minute. It seems like we're getting a lot of false moves in the last few days, even few hours, really. And this kind of looks like a Bart Simpson that could dump on us now. I do have mixed signals on this pattern. I mean, it's consolidation, but it's not my favorite consolidated pattern. If I got to be honest with myself, it's got a descending vibe, a descending triangle vibe, which is one of the most bearish patterns in the game. I could say, okay, finally it was one of these and it fell out, but it broke back inside. But if you just want to be real with it, the only reason why the daily is the only thing that kind of keeps me going here. That we're in this beautiful kind of flag here on the daily, and that we're breaking out nice to the upside. And this looks absolutely gorgeous, nice and beautiful here. Like it could do some beautiful damage, and I just like what I'm seeing. But that daily candle has to stay above this white line. You see what I'm saying? If we close a candle back inside here, no good. XNA on the, that's going to be no good. And below this high volume node, it's a failure. It's a failure. A lot of wicks here. Pretty weird on the daily, to be honest. A lot of wicks down here, too. It's kind of a battle. There's a lot of tightness here. Someone is selling off on top of us slowly here with big money. You can see it. They're not allowing us to get, So this daily candle must close today, in my humble opinion, above this white line. It's really all I'm looking for. Simply put. It does that, then everything else can kind of breathe and we can begin to grow. But if it does not, we have ourselves a bit of an issue here, and that's just, and we have to say that. So far, so good. I'm not overly bearish. I'm not overly bullish. I'm a little more bullish than bearish on the bigger time frames, right? But I'm not overly bullish. I see caution. And I realize it could go either way. And it is what it is. So I hope that analysis fulfills you. It fulfills me. Makes sense to me. And then we also have a trade cooking on the 1 minute if things go our way on BitNEX. So, yeah. It is what it is. Shout out to Solana at 199.91. We're going to jump on into these altcoins and take a look. Solana just doing absolute Joe DiMaggio, booming to the upside on that daily. Look at that. I mean, 21 crossed the 200 moving average. Now, you're very far away from the 21, though. Every time that's happened, you get some type, like we could be here. You do get some. I'll show you the times we've been away. Here we were pretty far away. Let's see kind of what played out over time. Oh, we were able to kind of pump and join it beautifully. That is like the most bullish scenario there. And see how every time we touch it, that's usually the vantage point of a dump or a pump? We consolidate right to the 21. To the 21. And you'll do the same thing. You flip it upside down. It's the exact same story. And look at this. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Like that's going to dump on you. And you cross the 200 moving average. You're going to pump. Inverted head and shoulder, right? So let's take a look at Sol on a deep dive here and see what's happening. Where are we going for Sol? Where is my bull market target? Let's have some fun. Let's break it down. Solana. So let me teach you things about trading that you may never have known. All right. People love the double bottom because basically 78% of the time, it's going to continue to boom here, this whole move to the upside, and just make a massive pump. All right. Doge bouncing back strong too off of the lows of 25.9 to 26.5. Doge crosses that 200 moving average on the 5-minute, could get some big love here back to the upside. Doge is in a giant double bottom. We're going to talk about it in a second. Looks like it could be doing some serious damage. It just it just made a head and shoulder pattern. I'll be honest, the patterns are pretty sketchy the last few days. They're messy. They're up and down. But nonetheless, the coins have been slowly trucking their way on out of the trenches. So here's Solana in a beautiful double bottom, right? That could break all the way out here to 233, just something I'm looking at now, right? If it, I'm showing you that if that was a double bottom. So the idea here is there's a lot of now the double bottom I've seen slanted before. I've seen it kind of like this before and break out. I've seen it slanted sideways, and I've seen it kind of slanted slightly down and still break out. So it doesn't always make the perfect move. Like, see how this kind of resembles a bit of a double bottom here? Just slanted. That'll break out, though. Now, the cup and handle really is just a slanted double bottom when you truly think about it, which is pretty crazy. But bang, right? So there's your cup and handle. And boom, right there. Right? Getting a sharp pain in my heart right now. It's no lie. I hope I'm all right. Maybe it's just a muscle. No, I did get a pain in my heart, but I'm trying to make funny of it. Hopefully it's just like a muscle pain. Wow, it felt weird. It was in my pec, I believe. But you never know, man. Kind of weird. Anyway, shout out to everybody here on the loft. Sorry. Pretty weird moment there. I'm getting older, man. You never know, all right? Hey, Sammy, don't do it. Don't do that, Sammy. Don't scare us over here. Anyway, sorry about that. Pop into the chat in a second, too. Haven't popped out the chat all day. I've been so into the charts. So I apologize for that. In a split second, we will do that. Bang. Bang. Let's take a look at the chat here and see how you beautiful people are saying and what you're saying. Let me pop it out. I like to pop it out so I can move it around. All right. I got a pain in my chest and I can't breathe. Oh, gosh. Happy for a second. Trades do make your heart ache. Weird, man. That's so weird, right? Deep breath, bro. I know. Double bottom jean boots with the fur. You got boot with the fur. Yeah. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Bless you, life, for no battery on my phone to trade, man. God bless you, and you still send a $50 super chat. That's so nice. Super trade, right? Thank you. God bless you, brother. Bitcoin. Huge pump to the upside for Bitcoin. Absolute damage getting started here. Unbelievable. Nice pump out this little bitty flag here to the upside. Back to where it all began, man. So they liquidated everybody. Moved it back up into position. Absolute insanity for Bitcoin and all these altcoins and everything in the game. And wow, it's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, right? Insanity. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I'm bullish on this daily candle booming to the upside for Bitcoin. I just want to make sure we do our thing here above the 200 moving average. So we got an insane move back to the upside, a V-shaped recovery, bit of a kind of inverted head and shoulder, double bottom flag there that broke back up. Then we pump back to the 200 moving average, and it looks like they're just going to go after the shorts now. They jumped on in a little late. So we kept our cool. I stayed long in all my Bitcoin. I didn't bug out. I did take profits on those little alts, which, but not all of them. Solana trade still cooking, right? And we'll see what happens with Doge here as it's already bouncing back pretty strong to the upside. Doge, baby, Doge. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so I basically sold 267. So I sold basically right where we're at in 2673. I sold right where we're at, which ain't bad, right? Or no, 26 and 1 at 2680. 119, 100 though, and they're flattening these shorts. Can we get all the way to $121,000 for Bitcoin? And what I'm looking at here is the model now. We want to create a bit of a bull flag, any type of flag, upward trending flag, a wedge, anything. And we want to stay above this yellow line here, the 200 moving average. We want to see the white line cross the yellow line. And anyone could do this. I could teach this to a dentist, to a soccer player, to a, someone who knows, heck, calculus teacher. Who in 10th grade, anybody can learn this. Just give me the time of day, listen to me, watch it every day, get unstuck from your emotions. Believe that anything is possible for you. The problem with trading is most people could figure out trading 100%, but they don't believe they're going to make millions of dollars or their life's going to change in some major way. And it's kind of strange, but you kind of have to believe that big things are going to happen to you when you're a trader. Because you have to kind of will it into your life through manifestation in a way. I can't explain it. There's really no other way. I mean, you could push it, but you really got to manifest. You want to make it into something big, So anyway, I hope I'm getting to the people that are listening about manifestation, because, when you're not deep connected to the rabbit hole of manifestation, you think it's like someone really blowing smoke. And you're like, but you know what? The thing about it all is, there's got to be work ethic every single day. There's got to be a connecting the dot thesis. What does that mean? The Sam Price connecting the dot thesis. What is that? Well, I'm going to talk to you deep about your life and about yourself and about what you've been doing and what I used to do and what maybe you aren't or are not doing now at this point. We don't know. I don't know every facet of your life, but I know a lot about my life and I can share it, and I think it can help others. So, what we do is we have to basically constantly work on the same thing over and over again till we better ourselves through it, right? But it takes serious discipline and time. And what happens is a lot of times we get off that momentum path that we're on because we just can't handle it, or something happens. A girlfriend, old friend comes into town that we used to do, we used to drink with, and then we drink for a week straight and don't do what we would, we forget all about our plans and that notebook we wrote, Someone brings you this, let's go to New Orleans, and you stay an extra week just because. Next thing you know, your whole life's in shambles. I'm not saying I didn't do those things, but someone here may have. But the point is, we gotta connect the dot thesis. Every day we should be grabbing onto what we did yesterday. And I realized that. I saw people that were famous and rich, Tom Brady, people that I looked up to when I was a kid back in Boston, right? I'm just going over my life. And I said, one day it hit me when I was older. I said, how did he get so rich and famous? And how did he get so good at football? And I said, well, he connected the dots. When he worked on something on Thursday, or he told himself, I want to get better at this. He wrote it down and he worked at it. And he said, okay, here's a small muscle I have to work on, then a bigger muscle I have to work on. And 2 weeks later, he was still following through with that exact process. And a month later and 6 months later, and his whole life was a culmination of grabbing yesterday's momentum and pulling it into the next day. And I said, oh my God, that's difficult. I said, that's really hard. I said, I get momentum for a couple of days and then I go back to my whatevers and then I go back and forth. And I said, man. And then, so that's when I finally, and I got scared. It hit me. I was alone one day sitting and I was like, oh my God. Because I finally knew what hard work was going to take for me to go where I truly wanted to go in life. Where I desired to be. At the top. With the best. At the A game. Doing something that I knew I loved. Never working for someone ever again, and achieving my goals on a daily basis and using momentum from the day before to carry over into the next day. And no better way than this live stream to do so. It's pretty cool because you can actively track how it's happening to you here on the live. You can see your progress. You can see the daily movement. You can see the channel growing. You can see the live stream growing. And you can see, it's like I planted a seed and I'm watching the seed grow. It's unbelievable. Right now, we're looking here. I'm not leaving you hanging. We're live streaming Bitcoin on the 1 minute. I'm just also teaching life lessons in a Jim Rohn motivation style fashion. They are ripping this puppy. We almost need the 30-second you do to get a bit of a flag here cooking. And there's your flag. And there's always a flag, I learned. It just sometimes on a time frame so small we can't see it. So you just zoom in till you get them, and you eventually get what they're doing. Measured move and everything to the next planned idea. 30-second chart says we can get to 119.5 for Bitcoin. What a beautiful move back to the upside. This is awesome. Yeah. A lot of people underwater there, back in action here, back to the upside. Altcoins ripping too, you know, and some pretty good places. So not too shabby here for Bitcoin. Pretty exciting times to be alive, if you ask me, and for altcoins. We're going to go over so many altcoins, and it's the top of the hour. We're going to break down some cool news for you right away. It says this crypto is BlackRock's. I don't hold any of this, just so you know. I just found this very strange. And I hope this is verifiable. Right? At the time of publication, images trading 004, down 8% on the day. This token's pretty down. It looks like it's in a straight downward trend. Right? But despite the sell-off, BlackRock holds 101 million tokens, valued at approximately just $500,000, but it's their third largest crypto position ahead of the SPX. The fund's crypto portfolio is dominated by Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then they have Image. Why? Like, you know, is this true? Can this be verified too? You know, or is this some type of like, right? I almost don't believe it. Like, I would like that to be verified, but this is all, you know, saw it. Western Union bets on stablecoins to revive global remittance dominance. Of course, Western Union's CEO says stablecoins bring new opportunities to speed up global money transfer securely. I mean, what the heck did I need Western Union for? I could just do it myself. From my friend to my friend. It's funny. It's like they're just trying to cloak the idea that they can, you know, it's when people realize they can just use their own wallet, their own phone, and what are they going to need Western Union for? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Will Scott Bessent replace Powell as the Fed chair? I believe he will. 2.5 Fed fallout sparks speculation. And so they're saying they spent $2.5 billion on renovating, and they didn't disclose they were going to put a roof deck and all this amazing stuff. And now they're going to investigate Fed Chair Powell for why he used all this money without really disclosing what he was going to do with it. Pretty stupid way to go. Hey, but let's be honest. It's like nitpicking politics. But at the same time, they'll do whatever they can. And they'll say, hey, we'll make your life miserable. We'll drag you to the papers. We'll drag this on for years. Or you can step down and be on your way, man. And so this is definitely a direct kind of, you know, pulpit attack here against. Is Jerome going to stand strong and say, you know what, I'm going to do me? I'm not afraid of you and your threats to, or you know what I mean? This is kind of, wow, pretty crazy, right? And Tornado Cash trial could collapse. Roman Storm's lawyers push for mistrial. You know, the key witness that said that her funds went so, you know, to this and that place, they went through the whole chain and they said, you know, they can't find a place where any of the funds did any of that. And so now, if that's the key prosecuting on the case and it's falling apart, then it's going to make the jurors not really want to trust the entire case, right? You know. So it is backed up by Zach BPT and to another, you know, third-party MetaMask security researcher, Taylor Monahan, who publicly traded Lynn's funds, revealing scammers converted her Bitcoin into ETH on centralized exchanges with no detours through Tornado Cash. So there's a courtroom clash and a mistrial motion here. Kind of a big deal if you've been following that case. Interesting times, right? And Polymarket acquires derivatives exchange QSEX for $112 million to expand its U.S. footprint. Polymarket getting into the crypto game, getting into an exchange. So I think that's a pretty good, you know, something you definitely want to catch on. And then, you know, a couple more little tidbits. We're not done yet. We're hitting you hard today. Just in South Korea, BitMax adds 5.2 million Bitcoin to its treasury. 5.2 million Bitcoin. They now hold 440 Bitcoin worth. Oh, 500 million worth of Bitcoin. All right. Yeah. All right. $500 million of Bitcoin. That's what it should say. They now hold 440 Bitcoin worth $522 million, though. $500 million with the Bitcoin ain't no joke. And public company Volcon Inc. just raised $500 million to buy Bitcoin. Corporate FOMO is heating up. E-Power Sports. You have to remember, a lot of these people who are entrepreneurs that get into this stuff early, too, they're just heavy. They're heavy into crypto, man. And they're young. And this is the new day and age. And we can, you know, cake off this idea here. Bitcoin 30-second chart, 1 minute, starting to consolidate nicely here finally. And this is the trade we just talked about. This is the position we're kind of looking for. The consolidation above the 200 moving average. You can even just buy above the 200 and let it rip. The 21 is kind of an added gesture for extra security on the trade, right? So if you go to the 1 minute, even the 1 hour now, close the candle above the 200 moving average. So the 1 hour, so there's two trades here. There's this trade. So you set the stop loss to like 123, 202. I mean, the take profit stop is going to be somewhere like on that wick on the 1 hour, right? 117, 685. This is a bigger trade. Like this is a trade I would make on weeks, like a swing trade on weeks. See? And then, which I'll show you in a second. And then there's the scalp trade I'd make on BitNEX on the 1 minute. Both viable trades, both using the 200, both using the sauce. Just different versions of the same sauce on the same exact moment of the trade. I was never this proficient. I never knew how to game the system this way. I had no idea what I was doing. The fact that I'm doing this live with you right now shows that if you do something every day, push yourself to your limits, you're going to find some success in some way, shape, or form. You'll be able to do it every day of your life if you love it. That's the key. I love trading. I put my life into it, and it's been good to me. The community, the industry, YouTube, the whole works. So God bless everybody, and thank you so much. I'm very grateful for everything in my life. I wake up in gratitude. I go to sleep in gratitude. The first thing out of my mouth is thank you for the, dear Lord, for the use of my legs. I may walk to the bathroom. I know there's people that don't have their legs, and so I feel blessed right off the bat that I get to walk to the bathroom. Life is good. Everybody, we teach class the last Saturday of the month, too. If you want to jump on into class, that would be awesome. I'd like to see you there. It's the quickest way to download my information, the fastest, and really get yourself on track. Awesome, $150 to spend on yourself. That's an investment for life. You'll remember that $150 for the rest of your life. You may have bought rings. You may have bought pants. You may have bought suit jackets, shirts, whatever else. Trips, plane tickets, whatever. But that $150 will go so long. There's a chance it could pay for almost all those things and more if you utilize that education the proper way and turn it into gold. You know, our minds are simply sponges. The more we provide education to ourselves, the more we can sponge up that information and begin to learn. The more we learn, the more we can provide value to others and the world and to ourselves. If you want more money, if you'd like a bigger home, if you'd like a view of the ocean, if you just have that desire to change the way you're living and to change your life, then the first thing you got to do is change your mindset. The second thing you got to do is gain knowledge that you don't have, because obviously if you're in the same tax bracket, it's due to your value, what you know. If you don't know how to trade, then how can you get into a higher tax bracket by trading? No way you can, right? If you don't know what candlesticks are and moving averages, then how can you make money? It's in trading. It's going to be very difficult. Some people do it just buying and selling stuff and they get by. But eventually something's going to happen that they don't truly understand. Having full control over what's going on and understanding it through a technical analysis formative way is a great way to exclude your emotions from the system. And when you exclude your emotions, you're able to actually hone in and focus, because emotions can get you from not focusing. What happens when people make the biggest mistakes in their life? They're not focused, right? Usually if someone's doing something in woodworking or with a tool and they get hurt themselves, what happened? They lose focus. You know, something happened, right? If they were truly focused, there was a good chance that wouldn't have happened. Agreed? We can all agree on that. So we can all say most accidents in life, I'm using that as an example, whether it's trading, whether it's life, come from possible, the idea that there's, lack of focus. So when we lack focus, I grabbed it though. But so when we lack focus, we usually make mistakes. When people get emotional, are they focused? Have you ever seen a focused, emotional person? Usually not. No, emotions usually get us off of our focus. So when we're trading with emotions, it's hard to also be disciplined and focused. Those two things do not go hand in hand. Understand? Okay. Work that. Can we get a move here? 119,900 for Bitcoin. And there's there it is right there. I've been waiting for that's it. That's it. That's the long right there. Stop loss 118. Like you can put it per the clout. 118.8 even. Could even be further away. I caught it. I was focused. Somehow I wrote it wrong. Two for five. Ugly trade. Hold up. Well, it's ripping in my face. Yeah, you got to be like 118,925. 165 for five. And we take it because I trade this all the time. If I lose it, so be it. I only need to win 3 out of 10. So if you see me lose this 7 times, who cares? I'm okay with it if you're okay with it. If you can't handle it and you write me off, then that's cool. I get it. The other day we were hitting big. I said, don't call me a genius because I'm winning. I might lose. Don't call me a loser because I'm losing. It's just a piece of the data set. All right. And it's volatile today. Anything could happen. I got these 2 trades going that are cooking. They're not, this thing has been down 500, up 200, down 100. This thing has been all over the place. Doge. But this has been solid, the Solana trade. So, and again, don't take risks that I'm taking, please. Unless you understand what you're doing and know what you're doing, all right? I rarely trade altcoins leverage. When I do, it's because the market is frothy and there's opportunity, right? Those trades are live on weeks right now. 420. Bang, right? So those are gains right there that could be had. We'll see what happens with these, all right? Doge, USDT on the perpetual, and then Solana too. Also had an XRP trade. Here's the bot. The bot did great. Bought here, bought this area, entered the long. So it sold here, or entered along there, entered along here. Got the bottom too, right there. Bang. Got in there, exited and exited, right? And then its next trade was an entered along right there at like 118. Then it got back in at 117. And now it's in there in between those two, and it's up. It's up on those buys, right? And it shows you where it's projected to get to 122,640 and the areas it wants to take profits in. And this thing don't miss, man. It bought the bottom down here. Look at that. And then it even sold the top up here. So pretty spot on. The bot's been amazing. I have a link to the bot, Minotaur trading bot. Imagine having a bot just trading for you. It's been fun, right? It's been July 4th. People want to be outside. You don't have to stare at the charts all day long. And honestly, Bitcoin's been pumping. There's been a lot of opportunity. I've been having to stare at the charts a lot, even though, like when my family goes to bed at night, I've been up late at night, 10 to 1 to keep track of the market because I want to have fun with my family. I want to take them to ice cream. I want to be a dad. I want to do all those things. But I also got to run my trading group, keep it kicking, and be the man, and be the crypto lifer. And I want to be the man at home, and I want to be the man online. And to be the man in both those places, I got to work my entire tuchus off 7 days a week. I'm telling you right now, because I don't want to miss. You're going to pay $99. I'm going to take care of you like I take care of my kids. Anyone that supports me is a family member to me, is a loving person. And I'm going to support you in any way I can. That's the way my mom was. I got a lot of love in my life. I was blessed with love. My mom she showered all her love on me. Me and my mother were so close. So, and my dad too. My dad told me he loved me every day. Sometimes twice, 3 times a day, man. My dad was a great father with a lot of love. Both my parents showed me so much love and respect. So I do the same for you. Because that's the only way I know how to live, because that's how I was treated. So it's great to be around people that are treated great, because they treat other people great. You know what I mean? And then you can be great parents to your kids, and they'll treat good people good. And my wife treats people good. And all I see is love in my house, and sharing and caring. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. God bless everyone that has that or is working towards that. It's worth more than money. It's worth more than anything in this world. All right. So Bitcoin, can we hold above the 200 on the 1 minute? This is the key. We do this almost every day, right? And we watch it. If it holds, we get the flag, things start to turn. The daily candle rips. I like the 118.5 breakout. I like 119,000. I like where we're sitting right now on the weekly. Everything's kind of good. We close right now. I'm fine with it. We don't have to pump even more. We can go sideways for most of the day. All right. God bless everybody. Thank you so much for being around. And we're going to keep kicking. We have 1,700 beautiful souls here on the live. $77 in chat revenue. And we're going to kick it into these super chats here, live chats, fan funding. All right. We got Micah B VN8VS. Thank you. God bless you. And we got the top fans today. Daniel Cotilla, ripping. Thank you, Daniel. We got Torrin Matthews, Sifakalik, Mr. Butters Trading, Reliable J in the house. God bless you, Reliable J. Rave Song Record to fund the shorts. Randy Alwas, Mad B, God is Love, John Miller, Versini, Campinci, and Crypto Samo. And we'll take a look too at HNT for my man Reliable J, man. God bless you, brother. Can you check out Turbo? Says Maiko B. Let's take a look at Turbo. SHX is finally moving, Sammy. Finally. Funny. Let's take a look at Turbo. Turbo looked hot to me. I actually have a setup in the group that I don't want to show right now. So I want people to join the trading group. So I appreciate that. I'm going to hold back right now. It's a really nice setup for Turbo. But you got to join the group to see it. So there you go. I'm going to hold back. I never do that. It's very rare. But hey, I get to every once in a while. I just have a beautiful setup that I don't want to reveal. I appreciate you, though. I do. And I thank you for the super chat. Let's take a look at SHX. Let's take a look at SHX USDT here on MEXC. Stronghold. It looks like I had some type of something going on here. What was up? Wow, so I had a cup and handle for Stronghold. I don't know when I put it out, but obviously a long time ago, somewhere in April 12th. Isn't that crazy? You could hold this and it would take till July, April to May, May to June, June to July, in a little over 3.5 months. But you would make 2.3%. I mean, 2.3x. Hey, it's pretty sweet, right? It wicked right past the target and back down as if someone was right there, right? I was not. SHX for the win, though. And that's how the half a cup of handle works. We call it an ascending cup and handle. Really high right side compared to the left, but still a cup and handle nonetheless. And wow, who would have thought? And those 3-day charts too, the way they are, low stochastics, low RSI, and there was bullish divergence on the stochastic there and entry too at the low point. So my stochastic indicator, when it gives you bullish div on that low point, I mean, it's likely going to be the low. Wow, man. I don't know when I must have put this out somewhere back in April. Unbelievable. Hey, it hit. A hit is a hit. A win is a win. Regardless, bro, right? So they sniped me. Look, they sniped me out. But that's why, 160 for 5. We can go again if they get back above. So they sniped me. So crazy. Swing. And honestly, it's been so volatile. I've been trading bigger time frames. 4-hour, 8-hour, daily, and just kind of letting the trade sit. Volatility has been absolutely absurd today. Craziness. Up, then down, then up, then down, then down, then up, all over the place. The Doge trade's ripping, though. So it takes care of that little loss of 160, right? Padding myself there. I mean, it's $7,000 at 20x leverage. It's a $140,000 trade, basically. Can we go? One thing I'll do is want to get covered. I cover super low to go up later. So we're going for okay. Yeah. Honestly, it's a high-risk trade. Might just cap that off and take a gainer. I already took 350. I take another one. Kind of gets me to my $15,000 target too in the port. Think this thing can absolutely moon, but I'm in high. I'm learning and I'm getting better at position. I mean, it is an inverted head and shoulder though. That's going to rip, right? Look at it. Gone, right? About to flip. You never know, though. It's tight. It's tough. You get too close, you get burned. High risk trade. $140,000 trade. Every little it blows and the thing moves $100. You know? Might just take that 500, go back in, but that looks like it's going to explode. Man. I take it I win for sure, though. You see what I'm saying? I take it I pay the trader for sure. I don't take it, and you never know what could happen. I was just up $1,000. Look at it now. It's 470. It's playing with your mind. 600. Trading altcoins is very tough. Very, very tough. Extremely difficult. I don't wish it on anybody. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm amazed at the people that can put millions in here. I'm like, I can do it for Bitcoin. I can't really do it with these altcoins. Certain altcoins I could do. Like Solana, I could put some big money in. Some people leverage $8 million into Doge and stuff. I mean, like, they got some serious guts. I mean, they're probably worth hundreds of millions of dollars, though. So, like, what's 8 mil, you know? I like 700 here on this pump. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Are we away from the 21 anywhere? Was there a gap up? We keep playing. We're watching Bitcoin and what Bitcoin's doing too, right? And you say it's up only, everything's ripping. Just let it go. But that is a rising wedge that could break down, start to dump right down, or it's going to just moon. So the greed keeps you in the trade from winning, you see? And then the fear keeps you selling early. And then you're always stuck in between the fear and the greed. What's the plan? The plan is to get paid no matter what, right? Look at that, though. Look at that wick dip. So what I like is the anxiety is too much for me personally. You know, but watch, I'll sell 5 and then I'll be like, I would have made 10 grand today had I just held that trade, right? Man. And you guys go through you guys watch me do this all the time. All the time. This is with size. I say this is with size. I mean, so then I just get like, all right, I'm so close to lasting out right here, and just done taking mines. Nice close there, strong move. My life on a tightrope. My life on a tightrope over here. I think I'm just in too big, so I can't handle it. Oh, no. Come on, baby. Come on. Let me get that 5 back. I'll take 5 the next time I'm out. Next time I get 5 back, I'm out. Stop being greedy. I get 5 back, I'm out. I got 5 back. I said I gotta do it. I said I gotta do it, man. I got 5 back. Oh. No, I had 5. What are you doing to me? I was about to hit the button. Now they'll get me out of like $100. I've seen this happen now. Oh, man. No. No. Ah. If I get 5 back, I'm out. I swear this time, Daddy. I swear this time. This time, I promise. I promise I'll do it. Just let me get back in. Just one more time. I'll do anything. Put my crypto face voice on. Just let me go, baby. Let me get back, baby. Let me get back. Just throw me back, baby. Throw me back, baby. Throw me back. Just give me some love. I take 4 now, right? You start getting like, man, I'm stubborn. I'm like, I want 5. I'm like, well, you may never get 5. You better take 3. Oh my goodness. This is brutal. I'm out at 250, man. I'm out at 250. After all that. Oh my gosh. This still gets me going. No matter how much money I made in my life, this still gets me going. I can't believe it. I'm out with the song ending. Something told me to get out right there. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out, I said. All right. I probably took like 260 if I'm lucky after fees. Dang, I was up a G though. We'll get back in later. We'll see how it rocks. But it looked like it wasn't going to go my favor anymore. They're playing with Bitcoin too then. That's what's going on, right? So Yeah, BTC fell below the 200 moving average. Now, it's at least it was better, but it's got to keep this move up. It can't keep playing this game. Toying with us today. Solana on the cup and handle. Measured move takes it to 250. It looks like it's going to do it. I mean, it's ripping. It's absolutely ripping. Use case development more than it had before. More people jumping on in. More people know about Solana than ever. Someone gets in. Someone's like, what do you do? Someone makes a bunch of money on a little coin. Where do they put it? Sol. Right? So there you go. Look at that. Sol. It's looking like it's going to do some damage on the 1 hour time frame. I'd look for Sol to possibly, I'd like to see it come back down one more time. Come back down to the bottom 199, possibly. But this thing could just start to lift off too. Like, there's demand for it. People are using it. Altcoins are ripping. If you got whipping, you got BONK, you got all these coins. DJI-6930, everything is starting, the ecosystem is strong. And this tells me that there could be a bigger pump. Now, they may stop, Hunt. It's been a volatile market. So I'd have to stay like right down there at a 2.67. I wouldn't dare go anywhere higher than these wicks because they could go boom, boom. But look for this thing to pump. 228 is my target for Solana. You heard it here first. This is all happening in real time. I can't sugarcoat it. I wish I could say in the trading group, but this is it live. Like, it's happening now. We can't force it, right? So bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Let's take a look here. So Sol looking nice to me. I just want to post this to the Discord too as well in case you can't make it. I want you to see what I see. 228 target for Solana. Looks absolutely lovely. And that's what we're going for Sol. $202 for Sol. We could get all the way up weird. Yeah, 229. Getting very tight inside the channel. And again, anything could happen. I do see some bearish divvy there, but it looks like we had it already and we kind of made it through. And now it's happened. And we're kind of on our next leg with the stochastic and the MACD. So anything is possible. Ascending triangles are 50-50. You could see us dump. If Bitcoin dumps, it takes everything down. You're always on this like tightrope walk with Bitcoin. Crypto trading is insane. It's not like trading anything else in the world. Like, the volatility is outrageous. Back to 118,680. Like, it's, every time you think you're golden, you're not. That trade would have went down bogus. I should have taken the G when I had it. Thing was up 1,000 fast. All right, but again, I did take my money and I did make $1,000 trading alts already in the last, couple of hours today. So I'm up nice. I did what I had to do, but it probably wasn't the bigger win that I was going for, right? But it's okay. That's all right. 272 and realized. Better than I thought. I thought it was almost $100. So, hey, I'll take 272 and realized. I had a G, though, flowing, and we'll see what happens later on. I'm not great with size yet. I'm still working on size on Levy. It's not as easy for me as others. I saw this thing, Sin. I don't own any. I know nothing about it. I think we learned it about a year ago, though, Sinverse, something like that. Looks bullish to me. It's on BitGet. I do have a link to BitGet in my trading group with the Sinverse. If you want to trade it over there, I do have a link. You can jump on in. Sinverse looks interesting to me. Look at it getting very tight. And it could get all the way up to 001190. Sinverse looking very, very tight to me. Let me jump back into the super chats and see what's happening. And we got a lot to cover. We got a lot going on. I like this. We got news. We got charts. We got Bitcoin. We got live trades. We got super chats. We got action here, keeping you extremely entertained. Let's take a look at DJI-6930. Got a huge sell-off, but got eaten back up. They try to do it again. Let's see what's happening to DJI-6930. So we've been tracking this a few times. If you go back in here, it got a massive sell-off here. Got eaten up. One of the fastest I've ever seen a dip go in my life, and then really consolidated nicely for a bigger move to the upside. And we've been tracking this thing ever since, right? Just continuing to rip. Funny moving averages. 21 got far apart from the 200. That's when you know there's going to be some type of divergence there or something happening. But this is a bullish. It looks like just a bigger bullish consolidation. Remember, these things are small. Market caps are tiny. So they can start making bigger flags, bigger channels, and becoming larger and making the longer a trade gets to mature, the bigger the technical analysis pattern is based on the range. So what I mean by this is, look at Bitcoin. All right, let's take a look at BTC on the all-time history index. Very important we look at it here, right? And we're going to take a look, and you can see, like, back here, if we go back in time, back to the future, we can see, like, Bitcoin made some flags on the weekly. It ran up, it made one flag there, it made one flag there, and then it kind of made a rising wedge. So it made 3 patterns on the weekly, 3 patterns, and then a falling wedge, and then its next bigger move was kind of a falling wedge, and then again another rising wedge that broke down, right? So it basically, but before that, even before that, the weekly barely made it. Look in 2019, the weekly barely made a pattern because it wasn't mature enough to even make bullish moves on the weekly to, you know what I mean? Like, just like when something comes out and it's new, it's on the 1 minute and the 15, it can't even really make patterns on the 1 hour yet, right? Because it's too new. It's just beginning to build. As a trade and an asset begins to mature, it can make bigger patterns it can make the same patterns it made on the smaller time frames on bigger time frames. That's what I really want. That's great. So it can make the same cup and handle, the same, at the beginning, it can't make any of those. You see what I'm saying? It can only make those on small time frames, but it can begin to expand those to bigger time frames and do some things that you never would believe. So that's the coolest thing about it all. So now when we look at Bitcoin and we kind of fast forward to where we are today, back at 119, 130 on the all-time history index, where are we on weeks? I don't know if that's the same price. Reminds me of my name, Sam Price, money without an E. But 119, 110 for Bitcoin in the US, So now we look here and you can see in this rally, Bitcoin made a flag here, made a double bottom, made some type of, that was kind of a diamond, made another flag here, made another flag here, is making a rising wedge now. Made another, like, it's just like, wow, it's expanded. You can see, and this is when you say, like, super cycle makes sense because it's like, this is just a base, for a bigger move up. And so you can kind of see where Bitcoin's going in history, really, blow off top. And then it's going to have to come down to a 618. The bigger the move, the bigger the range. And I keep seeing that $80,000 level. So crazy. It can go to 200 grand and go all the way to 82 and be completely healthy. Dip down to 786 on a wick. 60K. Imagine the bear market is 60,000. That would get people freaked out. They would say Bitcoin's dead again. And then it would go to like 300,000 in the next rally, right? And then it would make a 618 retracement. 170K would be the bottom, right? And then, right? A $500,000, right? And I'm trying to track the time, but 2029, wow, it would be basically 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2040 by the time it hits $500,000. So this would have to accelerate a little bit. I think I expanded. I think that's more like it. And then maybe we bully on out somewhere 2030. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just kind of giving you an idea of where we're going, because back in the day, like 20K was the highest thing ever. And that's all we looked at. And it's just been such an awesome road to be on, right? Look at this. So the trajectory of Bitcoin is such an awesome story that we've all been a part of. It's part of all our lives. And it's been such a blessing, right? Just love doing stuff like that. I'm really taking a look at the bigger picture for BTC. And just realizing I'm part of something that's going to last a lot longer than I realize. It's not just about today and my gains today and my up and down on Doge, And that there's a bigger picture I'm after. And so far, everything's been kind of going my way. And so, right? And it's just because we've been true to the same asset for so long and sticking to it. The 1 hour stays above the 200 moving average. I stay bullish. That's a bullish sign for me. That's a bullish sign that Bitcoin can get out of this and continue to pump. I like the daily time frame. I look at this as almost kind of a bullish retest. See this trend line? It's interesting. Dissecting trend lines. Almost a trend line there too, though. I know, very odd pattern. Consolidative, looks more like a descending triangle than anything to me. But I feel like it did break out and it's retesting, and I like it above the 200 moving average. So flag out Bitcoin. Invert head and shoulder here in some way, shape, or form. 1, 2, 3. A double bottom right there that played out beautifully and broke out to the target. Did exactly what it was supposed to do. Amazing, right? Beautiful double bottom there for Bitcoin. And so we watch. Let the 1 hour flag out. It came back to the 21 like it was supposed to. So as crazy and volatile as it was this morning, we came back to the 21. I guess my system said I had to do what I had to do. I pumped away from the 200, but I didn't get back to the 21 yet. I must come back to the 21. When we come back and this happens, then it's time to get back into altcoins. Bitcoin consolidates, and then we get our rippage into tonight. It says somewhere by 6 o'clock we should be ready to trade. And I like Tuesdays. I stay away. I trade heavy 7 a.m. to 12. I stay away from between 12 and 4 usually. I don't trade too hard unless there's altcoins ripping, then I'm all over it. There are days when Bitcoin's just doing damage and I trade all Tuesday, all Wednesday, all day long. But mainly I like to trade my Tuesday nights. 8, 9 p.m. I check in. I do a little overview. 10, 11 I get going. And 11 to 1 I trade pretty hard. And I'm pretty into the charts and going pretty crazy on these bullish nights. So it's not even me. I just found that's when I make the most money. I gravitate towards opportunity. I just looking good, and my super chat has been acting weird. God bless you, man. Is Aura next? Big meme. Feeling big on hyper. SX finally making its move. Shout out to Torin Matthews. We love you, man. Thank you for that. And we looked at DJI 6930. I see it consolidating for more in a bigger, something like this, and headed to 13 cents, which would put it at about a $140 to $150 million market cap. I remember seeing it at a 660. I've never seen something move this fast in my life, personally. This is the best winning coin I've ever watched in my life since I've ever, because I saw it at 660,000 here somewhere in the beginning of July 1st. The next night it did it 11x or something. I mean, no more than that. It did like a 14x because it went to 12 million market cap. And then from there, it just continues to plow on. Like I found it at 004. You see what I'm saying? And now it's basically at 70. I mean, it's crazy what it's done. Over a 10x there too. So, and I put it out to the group tier and here too at 1.8, and it ripped up too. So like every trade I gave played out nicely. Thing's been a monster. Even this flag here broke out, right? So it's crazy what I did. When it first came out, I gave this trade to the group and I said, watch this thing. It looks hot. Then it broke out huge, right? Then it came down, went up and down, and I drew this and I kind of stayed with it. And I said, watch this consolidation. And we put out this long. And that ripped. And then it did this funky thing, and I said, watch this. This is consolidating again. Measured move is the length of the pole yet again. And that ripped. And then I gave everyone this flag and said, watch for this to rip. And that ripped. And now we got the sell-off, and now we're consolidating, and now I'm giving you the next flag. So I've hit every single flag on the thing. And I don't know. If I did this alone in the trading group this month, it would be enough. I mean, right? It would be like, come on. This thing made massive money for a lot of people. Market cap exploded, and it's still got so much room to run. It's insane. I can't believe I got in when I did. I still hold a big bag, and I'm not giving up. I still hold a bag. I want to disclose. And when I started, I didn't. I realized I was asleep, but I got in pretty good. So let's go, baby. DJI 6930. I'm all over it. And it looks like more could be coming here for this puppy. And it's just because the TA too. It's TA. Look, I'm doing TA. I'm doing technical analysis. I'm not reading anybody. I'm not going on websites. I'm just seeing that, I find a name. I do my research. I scour the internet. I get that alpha. I don't know how I do it, but I do. And then from there, boom. So, blessings on anyone that took that knowledge, that information with the TA and was able to make it happen. Yeah, so now we're just looking for this kind of tight price action on the 1 hour time frame. Nothing crazy. And if we go back inside this trend line, then I know what's up. You know, and then if we lose basically 116.5, I mean, anything's possible. We could be back at 111. So we're at the brink of a big pump, but we could also, you know, but we got resistance here. Right there at 119. 119.350. Resistance double top on the 1 hour time frame right now. It's got to show us a way out. Next 4 to 5 hours, we got to start seeing some bullish consolidation to get us out of here. And, you know, all the altcoins will follow. So we got to make sure Bitcoin's kind of doing its thing. Except for Solana. Solana seems to do whatever it wants. Oh, remember Hello? I never thought that thing was going to come back ever, remember? That's crazy. Crest, we used to trade that. Oh, I remember this one. Aptos launch token. Alt, it always did some damage. There it did. It did. Look, it went sideways and did pump. We talked about this going. You could see it right there. I said, look for this to go sideways and pump. It did that. Looks like it almost went to the target, too. Pretty nice. Alex Labs. Remember, no, is that the same Alex? I think it is, yeah. That thing was 9 cents at one point. Maybe even a little higher. Solana just doing absolute damage. HOSKY, too. Anything and anything, man. We looked at HOSKY down here on the flag. Looked like it could break out. It did. It went up 86% gains. HOSKY, man. Charles Hoskinson. It's HOSKY, right? But like a husky, and then you put his name, and he likes huskies, and you get HOSKY. All right. Quant. Looked like it could do some damage. Said it was going to break out. I gave you a quant trade. I hadn't given a quant trade in like years. Since like 2023 or something in Vegas. It's the last time I did, you know, very rare. 114, quant's up. And I see it going to 187. You do what makes you happy, but quant banging on them. FIDA. I liked FIDA inside this flag. Bone FIDA. Right there. Boom to the upside and completely just going for it. Altcoins are ripping, man. It's been fun out here. GPT. Hyper GPT, right? GeoJam. Remember that one? Man, they're all out. Oh, no, that's Tune.fun. GeoJam. I remember that one, though. 118,900. Oh, look at Monero. Monero looks like it may bounce off the 4-hour 200 moving average. A lot of coins are in this kind of like cup and handle. That's a cup and handle right there for Monero. So privacy coins abound. Looks like Monero is going to do some damage. And I have 12 Monero. If anyone, I can't seem to get them off. I downloaded the whole entire net, you know, the main net at one point or something to a hard drive, and I memorized the seed phrase. I had the seed phrase and all that, and then I used it to a ledger, but I can't seem, like, then the ledger would unlock another third-party wallet to get you the Monero, and now there's 12 Monero in there, right? That's $3,600 sitting in there that I can't, and it's been there for like 4 years now. It's kind of sad. That's the only like real lost crypto. NEXO all the way there to about 1.35. And here too. And I also have like a couple ESAT wallets or something, and I transferred like $6,000 of Bitcoin I was going to do something with, and it's still there. And I just can't and I made a bunch of different ones. I have all the actual, I just have to sit one day and open them all and then like put in the seed phrases and stuff. But there's probably like $30,000 of Bitcoin sitting somewhere. It's crazy. SNEK ripping to the upside. All the Cardano stuff just did damage. And you can see SNEK did damage too. And we can see it on the bigger time frames on the 3-day cup and handle. On this kind of longer wedge, you can see it on the smaller time frame if you zoom in there to the flag, right? So SNEK's in a little bit of a flag there too. XRPH, someone asked about it. Did break out the flag too. It's crazy. XCN looks interesting, but a little sketchy. BONK. I like BONK right now. I'd open up this a little bit more, though, for just a deeper consolidation, but why not, right? Sol's hot. Where's the money going to go when Sol rips? Into BONK. Where's the money going to go after BONK rips? Into Sol. Where's the money going to go when Sol rips? Into BONK. Where's the money going to go when Sol, you know? It's just, you know, it's new money getting sucked in with old money making big pumps, and it just kind of creates this bigger pump. So I see BONK doing damage. This is, adjusted BONK chart, but basically, similar idea. Everything kind of still spot on here. And that goes with the idea that Solana's super strong right now, especially compared to Bitcoin. They're just like, we don't care. Doge at 26 cents, really strong too as well. Doge, baby, Doge. And I hold a bag of Doge over here, all right? Don't be mad at me for my Doge holdings. I got a big old bag of Doges. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And let's take a look at the chat again. Bless you, life for no battery on my phone to trade. Thank you. SAX finally making moves. Yep. Is Oranex. Okay, we got more. Yeah. Good morning, Sam. Sending blessings and positive vibes to everyone. Thank you for sharing the knowledge that took you years to learn and giving us the opportunity to better our lives. God bless you. Thank you, Carrie Weldon. It's one of the nicest things that anyone's ever said to me. God bless you, Carrie. Sammy, what is the approximate percentage gain or loss for the bot you were using? It's up huge. I'll probably put it out in a month. I don't have access to it right now because, like, the actual back end of it, or, just because it's just a personal reason. But what's your thoughts on TRA? I have never seen it. Let me take a look at that. I don't know about it yet. My tea's been weak. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I mean, that's beautiful, TA. All right. So, like, I don't know. I'm a TA guy. Like, I'll trade anything with a pulse as long as there's good technicals on it. I don't give a dang. And I mean, that just looks beautiful, right? Looks like it may be waiting on a right shoulder. And then it's kind of off to the races here. But, I mean, that's really nice consolidation. $5 million market cap. I mean, that thing looks like... I feel like I would get in and get out of trash and call it a day. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Let's X.com. And follow me at X.com. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And remember, I teach class the last Saturday of every month. And so if you want to jump on into class, jump on in today. I'd greatly appreciate it. We had a QR code right there for class. So jump on into class. You'd find out more about how I trade, my trading style. You'll get homework. You'll get a PowerPoint with a 9-page PowerPoint a 9-step process of how I get in and out of my trades, why I take the trades I do, the indicators that I'm using. You'll get basically a backstory into Bitcoin and some mining and stuff at the beginning, a little bit about me as well. And you'll learn a lot about kind of what makes me tick and why I do the things I do, why I trade the way I trade. It makes a lot more sense once you take the class. It's an intimate 3 hours with the lifer. People pay $300 an hour. So the class is a steal. It's 3 hours at $150. And people are paying $300 an hour. So not to be rude, I'm just, I teach people in 1 hour. I could teach someone who's losing tons of money at least 5 things that could at the very least help them from stop losing a bunch of money. You know what I mean? I can't tell them I'm going to make them millionaires and all that. Those aren't, but what I could do is teach you proper risk, things that just basically people don't get. Like, they're buying when the stochastics are extremely overbought. Like, they're buying right here and wondering why BONK dumped in them. And it's like, well, we buy when the stokes are low because this indicator has a high probability of showing you when we've lost that energy for the buyers and we're for the sellers, and we're starting to wane. So, there's knowledge out here to be had. You definitely want to have it if you're going to play with money, in my humble opinion. But everybody's different. People want to learn the hard way, the soft way. I get it. It is what it is. Wow, Trash looks amazing. I think you're spot on there. The TA looks good to me. High risk, high reward for Trash, but I mean, dang. And now we're that channel again. Finding the gems, man. I love it. We were early to DJI 5930. That thing is really the best meme in the game in the last 2 weeks. There's really nothing better than that thing. You may have gotten something that went up a little quicker, but probably went down and turned to it's the most solid meme play I've seen in a long time. And I own it. It could go to 0-2 and tomorrow. You know what I mean? This is high risk as well. But I just love technical. I just like watching it to see if the TA plays out. I don't even have to really buy it, but I'm obsessed with technical analysis, clearly. So are you. That's why you're here. That's what binds us together. That's what really makes the channel ring. It's why people want to come back every single day, right? Because we don't miss. You know you're going to get some life lessons up and downs, but, all right. After your class, Master Fred mentoring lifers in the 99 trading group. Love to help. We'll answer 20 questions 24/7. Lifers love to help each other while we all practice and gain. It's amazing. It's amazing. Can you show us how you have your Stokes set up? Yeah, it's very simple. Just go here to RSI. Hit Stochastics RSI with divergences. Click on that. That's it. I do nothing special. I've learned if you tweak everything, then you'll just trade the tweaks. If you leave it flat, you'll trade the flat. You'll get good at anything. So, hey, Lifer, sir, can you check for me, please? KASTA, thank you so much. Hey, you got me. You got me. Let's take a look at KASTA. On the low, too. Wow, I got slumped to the downside. Not a huge fan. I don't know. I don't know much about it, so I've never been like, you know, I don't hold it. I'm not really into it, but it looks like it came up and got sold off so fast for whatever reason. It is back down at like a fib. Like it's bouncing off of the 886, but then, I don't know. I think there's so many better coins out there right now, personally. Yeah. Let's take a look. You know, just based on technical analysis. You know, it did go from the lows, though. I mean, it went 009. It went up beautifully. I mean, that's almost a 5x there. Ripped through a 0, and now it's still up nicely, actually, from there. You know, if you still believe in it and you like it, you're just looking for a rounded bottom here. So it can find some type of base. But a lot of coins are just a little more mature by the time, you know. Hello, sir. Can you check? Yeah, thank you. DJI to the moon. Don't worry, my man. Mega Prashant. Thank you for your likes and support. God bless you all. Thank you for your likes and support. Bitcoin back to 118,890. So it's been a heavily volatile day here for Bitcoin. Altcoins waiting for Bitcoin to kind of finish its dance here so we can square away, keep moving, and get everything going the way it's supposed to be going. All right? So we're close. No cigar. I'm going to do one more top data analysis here. The last 3 minutes I'm long and kind of go over what I see happening. BTC. So really, like, I honestly just like cutting off this line here and saying, all right, that was the line. All right. You got back inside the good graces of the pattern. You threatened a descending triangle. You threatened a good time to the shorts. That means you got a lot of people to short, but you were able to kind of make it through. You kind of have this thing going. Where like you almost came right back to that key level and bounced. So I'm looking at this little mini world here. I'm looking, this is the top of the range. This is the bottom of the range, right? We've been in this kind of for a while now, if you think about it. The top of the range is 119, 468. The bottom is 116. We get a fixed range profile out here and take a look at this. And you can see like value area high, value area lows, 117.6. And then the point of control there at 118.293. We're closer to the premium. You know, you like to buy near the point of control or lower and sell in the premium over and over again. The key is when people trade this, they don't understand the 200 moving average. And that's when they get caught up a lot. That's why I make a lot of money, because I learned the hard way. I didn't trade with the 200. I traded with everything else. And I was good, you know. But I was better once I used the 200. And I see people that don't use it, and I can't tell them what to do. I can't force it. But I think my stuff is better. Don't tell nobody, but I think what I do is better than anybody else in the game. But again, it's me. We should all think that. We should believe in ourselves. If you're on YouTube, it's like being a quarterback. You're out there every day facing the world. You got to believe in yourself. So yeah, I'm looking for this is a 5 to 6 hour consolidation here for Bitcoin and a breakout tonight. That's what I'm looking for. Touch grass, take a deep breath, and everything rips. And we get kind of ready. So I know what I'm going to do. I know what coins I want to trade. I'm kind of planning for it all. Let's look at TLA. And TLA, thank you so much. God bless you for all the awesome super chats. Like, you didn't have to give the way you're doing that, but you are. That's such a blessing, man. Thank you. Or a woman. I can't see the picture there. I should take a look. Let me try to, hold on. There you go. Oh, that's Ivan Roque, man. Oh, my bad. My bad. I didn't realize it like changed the name, right? But God bless you, brother. He's like, you call me. God bless you, man. Thank you for being here. It's a cool picture, brother. I like it. I like it. Looks, do you do? I mean, it looks like you do. I don't know if you do graffiti, but it looks like you're a hip hop visual artist of some type. I mean, that looks pretty cool. God bless you, brother. Thank you. Let's take a look at Ponky. Wow, the bot too. If you want access to the bot, it trades for you. Go to Minotaur. I have the access to the link down below. Hit it. It'll take you to the link, and you'll find out more. This bot is absolutely awesome. I love it. It hasn't lost for me once. I let it sit there by itself doing awesome. I could be on the beach. I could be swimming. I could be surfing. I could be with my kids playing mini golf. I could be bowling. This thing is doing damage. Absolutely love it. I'm super excited and blessed that I got even invited into the whole Minotaur team. Thank you, dear Lord, for the blessing. Having a bot is awesome, and I think bot life will be probably the life for me as I get older and continue to grow with time, you know, because you want more of your free time and you still want to grow. And you don't want to miss the pumps that you know are coming. You want to focus on the hotness. You know, Solana looks like a beautiful trade to me there that could basically continue to pump. Little high risk for some possible bearish div, though, you know, on the radar. It is getting far from that daily. And we have to, you know, whenever that pumps, radium pumps. Understand how to make multiples behind the trade, right? And then SWE kind of rivals up because SWE is a fast blockchain that people start getting excited for. And it gets SWE a little riled up. When SWE gets riled up, SEI starts to kind of begin to turn a bit. Understand how this whole motion in the ocean works here for these coins. SEI looks like we may be doing one of these. A bigger consolidation with a kind of an inverted head and shoulder that could break us to the upside. No guarantees at all, but just something definitely to pay attention to. I'm very long on this coin. It's very stubborn. It doesn't pump perfectly. It takes its time. We had that huge move there, though, from 25. And so far, it's been all right. SEI. And that's kind of where we stop on the day. You know, we're watching Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. If it loses that 200, it could be a double top, and it could very well do this. Measured move takes it to 114.5, and then we wreck that big red bar down. BOOKMAP says at 117. Oh, but now they say they want to wreck 117.7. We could dump all the way down to 115. It's looking, I get mixed signals. I would only long if we consolidate for the next 5 hours more sideways. Other than that, they may dump us. So that's why I wait to see what I want to see. 777s on Bitcoin as I jump on out of here. You got to, that's crazy, right? Every time. So God bless everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Another amazing stream. I don't know how we do it every single day. I don't know how I make it from 10 to 12 and talk the entire time. But we do it and we make it through. Thank you, anyone who did sign up to class. The QR code is there. Let me show you one last time. If you're thinking about signing up to class, please do. It'll be a great investment in yourself. You will get a lot back out of that class. I put a lot of time and effort into those classes. So God bless you. Thank you so much for even considering it. And that's for you. You know, people are charging thousands of dollars for what I teach in that class. I'm telling you right now. They really are. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. And thank you. Hey, we took a win. It wasn't huge, but I did take a win on that trade this morning. And we'll circle back and see where we stand. God bless you all. Thank you so much for your time. And I'll see you tomorrow.